Hey guys, Knives Galore here. I just wanted to start the video off by showing you some of the designs I plan to do. Maybe I won't do some of these ones because they're, well, massive and really impractical and I'd have no reason to do any of them, but most of these you will be seeing coming up. I've got a pair of hunting knives coming up, a nakari, Japanese knife, a few carving knives, a kind of punch dagger type thing, and of course a kukri. Most of that will be coming up, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, this is just a little update on what you might be seeing in the channel's future. This video probably will be about this one. I'm just going to quickly angle grind this out and then we'll move on to actually working on this knife, and I'll make it a bit more of a tutorial than the last video, which, well, wasn't particularly good because I didn't show you really any of the processes. I just more explain them. So I'm going to try and actually show you them today, which is probably going to be a bit better. Just a little bit regarding the angle grinder. You want to make sure you have the guard in place as well. I'm left-handed, so when I hold it, I want the guard to be facing towards me so that if any sparks fly up, they're not going to hit me in the face. Also, you're going to be wanting to wear your PPE as same as you would in a normal bench grinder. I'm going to wear my Kosh-proof goggles and my ear defenders again. Also would recommend a disposable dust mask just because of how you could get iron poisoning or something from long exposure. I think I'm probably going to have to invest in some of those soon. And that's all I have to say health and safety wise. When holding the angle grinder and doing it, you've got to make sure you're doing it so your legs are not in the way if it snags and throws your arm backwards. Because if your legs are going to be in the way, then you are probably going to end up sawing your legs off, and you don't want that. You want to make sure the chuck is tightened so that it won't just spin on its own. You know, this is holding the blade quite securely, it's all good. The locking mechanism in the chuck is all good. I've set it up correctly and the blade is in half good nick. So that's all I have to say regarding the angle grinder. I'm gonna angle grind it out now. Okay, this is what it looks like after angle grinding. Fairly rough cut, but I've managed to conserve quite a lot of metal, as you can see. So yeah, I haven't wasted a hell of a lot, but I could have taken a bit more off here maybe and a bit more of here, but it's an angle grinder, so it's not incredibly precise. It's just for rough cuts really, or maybe beveling if you like doing that, but I'm not a massive fan of it. So yeah, you can do that, but yeah, the design of this was actually taken off the internet, and I'll probably quote the source in the description so I don't get bullied by people who like copyright. Yeah, and other than that, it looks like a really nice knife to make actually, and well, I hope you like it at the end of it. Okay, so now we're at the filing stage, which is one of the easiest bits and the hardest bits at the same time. Easy because, well, it's fairly simple motions, you just do something over and over and over again. Hard for the same reason, it's very, very dull at times. You've been sat there for half an hour doing that and you're already bored, so that's that. I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration on how to file, because some of you may not know how to do even that at all, which is perfectly fine if you're getting into this kind of thing, or just general metalwork or engineering. It's just a good skill to have. I'm going to show you from a left-hander's perspective, just because I am left-handed, but yeah, it's quite easy to swap it around. You just swap hands what I'm doing. So I'm going to use my left dominant hand on the handle, get a firm grip of it, and use your non-dominant hand purely to steady it. Don't do any of this one-handed stuff. Don't do it. It's unstable and it barely does anything. So it's a fairly simple motion to do. You go start, somewhere near the top, you push forward, and you pull back. If it's just a one-way cut file, it will only remove metal on the forward stroke, but I'm lucky enough to have a dual cut file, so mine cuts both ways. Just check your file if it does cut one way or both ways, because no point you sat there putting in all this hard work and then only find out you've done half as much as you thought you did, which is pretty rubbish to think about. Yep, that's called cross filing, and the only other one I use really is draw filing, which is pulling it back and forward like that. All this does is change the grain. It doesn't remove any metal really. You're just more shifting it rather than taking any off, because you're only using a very small part of the file. The only time I ever do this is just before I polish. You might have seen in the karambit video, but all the grain was flowing one way, which makes it very nice to polish up, because you can remove all of it at once rather than having to get all these indents like that from where you've cross-filed. So that's just a good skill to have. In aeronautical engineering, which is what I hopefully want to do, there's this one filing technique. I don't actually know what it's called, but I'm going to call it square filing from now on. Message me in the comments if you have any idea what it is. You start at the top and you push that way, and you've got to elong it, but you still take off metal. This is useful because it takes off all metal uniformly, and it leaves you with a nice square edge normally at the end of it, and you can only do certain bits. You can do that bit. It's quite a versatile filing technique, and it's quite useful honestly. But yeah, those are the three filing techniques I use. This one not so much, just because I never really find myself having to do square edges unless I'm doing a half-tang knife, which it's important to have a square edge, otherwise you have gaps when you do it, which is a really crap thing to look at, having an unsquare edge. It's horrible, horrible. Anyway, those are the three filing techniques I'm probably going to use to get rid of all this metal I don't need. And I'm not going to bother showing you this on camera just because of how boring it's going to be. I might show you a bit, but nothing much because of how dull it truly gets. And I'd rather you didn't have to experience this. You know, you just... I did warn you. Right, that's all I'm going to show you, just because I'm going to be here for another 3 years doing all that properly. So, yep, I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm probably going to start beveling or thinking about how I'm going to handle it. I'm not going to do a paracord handle this time, just because I did it last time, and I don't want to do it again. I'm not sure what kind of handle I'm going to do. I may end up doing a paracord handle, and don't hold me to my word saying I don't, but they are nice handles to do. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it at the moment. This will probably end up being some kind of Christmas present or something. Sorry I don't sell as many knives as I probably should. I know lots of knife makers really enjoy selling knives and things, but I can't really do that at the moment just because of my age and all. But yeah, I won't be selling too many knives. I might sell a few. I'll link you to the page if I am and you're interested in everything, but I'm just going to focus on this one first, alright? So, I'll see you in a minute once I've finished all that. time for today, so expect a follow-up video on this. And yeah, first two-parter I've ever done, and I've started beveling now, as you can see. I showed you a little bit of grinding, and yeah, it should end up being a really nice looking knife. I mean, it looks kind of funny. I quite like it. Well, that's Christmas sorted then. So yep, like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. This was more of a tutorial type thing, explaining how you would make it. I'm going to go into further detail in the second one on heat treating also, because I didn't show you that at all. So yep, that's all the plans I have for this knife in particular. Not sure if I'm going to make a sheath or anything for this. I was toying around with the idea of sawing a log in half and then scooping the insides out with a chisel, then making a kind of box out of it. I thought that'd be a nice idea. And well, anyway, I don't know if I'm going to do that yet or not, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, which will probably be about this one. If not, it'll be like health and safety or something boring like that, you know, because I love doing that. Anyway, guys, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.